Hey guys, so I'm really excited to show you a video that I found in my several hundred terabytes of perfectly organized storage space that I thought I had completely lost or deleted or something. But it's a video of flying my aluminum flying car with the plastic 3D printed propellers. You probably remember seeing them in a previous video when they all blew up. So they are printed out of PETG filament because it worked better for the extreme forces that were exerted on the propellers as they were spinning. But part of the reason that they exploded was that the drone weighed significantly more at that time than it did back when I recorded this video I'm about to show you. So when I originally built it, I used a different thickness of aluminum tubing. You can see the old aluminum tubing is just straight up from Home Depot, and the walls are about half as thick as the new aluminum that I got that it was then built out of for the video where the propellers blew up, which, as you can imagine, made it significantly heavier. And because it was so much heavier, it required more force to get it off the ground, which meant that more lift had to be created. So the propellers had to spin faster, and that exerted more centripetal force on the 3D printed propellers, causing them to explode. I have gotten so many comments on that video of how stupid I was to think that 3D printed propellers would even be able to work. And yeah, it is kind of a stupid idea, I guess, but I just wanted to see if it would work, and it did. With that being said, though, I don't recommend using 3D printed propellers to fly a drone this size, or really basically of almost any size, because it's pretty dangerous. I've had not just these propellers explode, but I've had multiple, I think my very first drone that I ever made had 3D printed propellers, and those exploded too. Made my toes bleed. I was trying it out barefoot inside. Fun times. We're gonna see together real quick if I can even find one. This is my, well, it was my broken propeller stash, but now it has other 3D printed parts from drones that have exploded or crashed or whatever. So yeah, there's my good carbon fiber ones that were really expensive and painful to destroy. Those are actually still good. I don't know why those are in here. There we go. Beautiful. They've got some rust on them now. But yeah, and I borrowed some parts from them also. But yeah, I made these from scratch, and I designed them in Fusion 360 a long time ago. And you can see that they have multiple parts. I made this little hub area. I actually cut this out of steel because the hub needed to be stronger than it was. It was warping, and I think I actually blew it up at one point. But yeah, the propellers worked surprisingly well. I partially wanted to get this out as quickly as possible for, well, I guess for two reasons. First, I'm still trying to reach my 4,000 watch hours to get monetized before my video from a year ago falls off. And thank you to those of you guys who have been helping me out watching some of my past videos recently. And then the other reason is that I kind of want to get this out there before AI videos get so good that everything that I make looks like it could have been just made with AI. Honestly, we're probably already past that point, but I don't know. So I guess you could just choose whether you want to believe me or not, if this is actually real. But anyway, enough talking. Here's the video. And the video is actually taken from my DJI drone, so there is no audio. I needed a big flat surface to fly it on, so I went to a vacant parking lot. There was nobody around. So yeah, I'm just going to play this video and just provide some commentary as we're watching it. There are like 4 or 5 flights in it, so you guys are welcome to skip around if you want to. But I do something a little bit different with each one. And my mom was nice enough to come with me to help me move the drone into position. Just plugging in the batteries. Now, before I start flying and you guys start judging me, I'll just provide a little disclaimer. I did this a long time ago. Like I said, it was about 5 years ago. And I do not claim to be the best pilot in the world. I've gotten a lot better since then. I mean, I wasn't horrible either, but yeah. And here we go, the first flight. If I remember correctly, I had just finished assembling it with all these propellers. You can see, and I'll show another, I do a few flights here, so you'll see it from a few different angles, just slightly different, but you'll see a little bit closer in a minute. So as you can tell, the motors are actually mounted on top of the arms right now, which is funny because I don't remember having a successful flight with these plastic propellers on top of the, well, as pullers, not pushers. Just adjusting the drum a little bit. Let's go for round two. The landing gear looks like it's somewhere in between the long ones that I had on when I made my first video of this and the shorter ones that I cut them down to in the last video when it exploded. Well, when it exploded the second time. It's kind of funny. You can see all of the wires that are hanging down from it. Obviously, this is a very much earlier, less pretty version of it, but funny enough, it actually worked a lot better. All right, flight number 3. A little wobbly. I'm not actually sure what I was doing for that flight. I think I was, well, here I'm just checking the motor temperature again, making sure they're not getting too hot on this sunny summer day. I think this is flight number 4. Going up a little bit higher. I think the last one was so wobbly just because it was close to the ground. Probably had some turbulence created from that. Of course, now I'm flying really, really close to the ground again. And just as a reminder, I have always flown this in stabilized mode, which means that it's not quite acro, but it is fully manual. There's no kind of additional, I mean, there's no GPS or, additional sensors on it other than just the accelerometer and the magnetometer or compass, whatever you want to call it. All right, here we go from a slightly different angle again. Just plugging in all those stupid batteries. I think this is the best flight, by the way, if I remember correctly. Flight test number 5. I think for this one I was just trying to run down the battery. And so I was being a little bit more playful with it. Just going a bit. You can see all the wires on there. I love that shot. Went out of frame for a second here. It'll come right back. And then I felt kind of daring, so I went up decently high with it. And that is definitely, I wouldn't say definitely. That might be the highest I've ever, no, yeah, that's definitely not the highest I've ever flown with it. That's the highest I've ever flown with it and landed successfully. I have flown higher than that and crashed several times, actually. Always in a very secluded area, though, by the way. I like to joke about being dangerous sometimes, as you guys know. But I do take safety pretty seriously, and when you're building something like this, it's important to be as safe as possible. I guess we have a bonus flight here. I did not realize that. Got flight number 6. And I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, maybe I'm just trying to fly it closer. Okay, no, I have no idea what I'm doing. But yeah, it's crazy. I think this is the best video I ever took of it while it was flying successfully. So I'm really glad that I found this video. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you've learned your lesson of questioning me. Ha ha ha. Well, I still do a lot of stupid stuff, so you can still question me. I question myself all the time. Honestly, it's part of the process, so whatever. But yeah, it's funny and kind of sad that that video is the best one I have of that drone flying. Yeah, it just went downhill from there. I was really expecting better flights from that whole series of videos that I made of that drone, but whatever. That one's done now, and we're moving on to bigger and better things. So if you haven't seen them, I have new videos now of a different, bigger, better, more exciting drone. You should go check it out. I call it the Spider, and that one, at some point, I'm actually going to fly on.